to you, what do we have today? And it's Thursday, right? Thursday before the Friday. So we can't start celebrating the weekend quite yet, right? The money-making weekend is not quite there yet. Be patient for another 24 hours. Now, my friends, there have been several videos about this, and we're going to discuss some pros and cons about this California Bill AB5 that has been introduced, right? Lamar, first man in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see your face. Rick Reviews. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. So, there's no decision on this yet, and I can tell you something. The lobbyists, right? The lobbyists for Uber and Lyft and other companies will be pushing like crazy, will be trying to get through and squash this bill with the politicians, because that means their biggest money-making market, it is California, New York probably second. They will face an enormous uphill climb to make monies if they have to start paying out a minimum wage, right? So you can bet between the moment this bill was just introduced all the way to August, when the Senate has to rule on this, right, is that the lobbyists will be fighting furiously against us, right? Those companies, in fact, will not be going after our best interests. They will be fighting this bill like crazy. So you can argue back and forth, but here's the big one. Here's the big one, and I've read through the bill. I've picked up things in the fine print that I want to share with you that many people probably don't know. On the face, this bill, right, this California bill could force Uber and Lyft to treat their workers better. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. There are many things built into this bill, obviously the minimum wage, and a lot of benefits that will help the driver. It'll also help you determine whether, hey, if I do 20 hours per week, I'm going to be earning X. I can do my math, right? If I'm doing 40 hours per week, I can rely on Y. If I do 60 hours a week, I can rely on Z dollars, right? The one thing, let me read this to you. This is what I found in the bill, which I find alarming. And California drivers, take note. Super, super important. This, by the way, could spill over to many states. So whatever I'm going to read to you right now could really come into effect in many states. Here it is. California might be a limit on a driver's ability to app hop or work for multiple companies at the same time. App hopping, my friend. I app hop. I'm guilty of app hopping. Uber, Lyft, some people Postmates, Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, Postmates, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub. People are working combinations, right? So this bill is going to fairly much force you to be with one company, right? So you can't app hop. So just take away, you guys just got to imagine this for all of those, and I think there's tons and tons of us who are driving on Uber and Lyft. Just take away the ability of one of those two, and you're now fully relying on one. I think that Uber would see the benefit in this, right? That the people would say, okay, there's more passengers on the platform. There's more money to be made with Uber. So if I have to choose, instead of app hopping between Uber and Lyft, and to stay compliant with this law, I will go for Uber, right? So let's see. Let's open up the room. Timothy, Neuvath, good morning. Mike, Randy, Stefan, RC, how are you? Mohammed, what would you advise Uber to do about lying riders who falsely report drivers just for a free ride? I'm going to answer that quickly, Mohammed, because it goes a little bit away from the topic here. But my advice to you is do the preemptive strike, rate them 1 star if you know you're going to have a major issue, because there's a 1 star coming your way. Write a report and send it in so you're covered, right? If you're waiting for the bad news, you will get the bad news because your gut feeling already told you this guy's just going to screw me over and write me up, right? The next thing you may be deactivated. So I like the preemptive strike on that one. Eric, how you doing? Russell Ringo, hi to all the drivers. Rideshare helper, big hello from Philly. How are you guys? Now, we're talking about this California bill, and definitely it would force Uber and Lyft to treat their workers better. But what a lot of people I don't think understand that's in this bill is that it'll limit your ability to app hop. And app hopping just means working on multiple apps, working for multiple gig economies, right? It'll truly, truly restrict that. So think about that for a moment, especially if they get this through. As I said already, the lobbyists are going to work around the clock to not make this happen. Now, another thing I thought interesting, app-based companies would have to figure out how to quantify and standardize worker hours. That's going to be so, so difficult, and pay structures, right? How do they introduce pay structures if this bill passes, right? And again, those companies will fight. They will throw so much money at the lobbyists and so many bribery dollars at those politicians not to allow this AB5 bill to go through. Gig economy companies like Uber, Lyft, Postmates, and Grubhub use dynamic pricing to pay their drivers and push out incentives when demand is high to keep a steady supply of drivers active. So if they see the number of drivers on the platforms going down, boom, they push out the incentives. They have this thing down like a science. There is some precedent, though, for how this could be done. Last year, New York's City Taxi and Limousine Commission passed a set of rules that guarantee drivers a minimum wage of $17.22 per hour while they are driving. The rules went into effect in February and will be watched by regulators considering similar measures, right? So they're going to look at those measures. They're going to learn from those measures. They may apply it in California if it passes. They may start applying it in other states. The one benefit, I think, is that you can really start doing your math, right? If you know that in your state, your city, in your state, you're getting X dollars per hour and you have a main job, let's say you're a real estate agent, now you're putting in a couple of extra hours, 15, 20, 25 hours extra per week, right, to pay for those expenses. How much exactly can I make? And your calculations, at least in New York now, hey, at $17.22 per hour, I work for 2 hours, I've just made myself $34.44, right? Simple math, I just use as an example, right? So more reliability on the numbers. Right now, we don't have any reliable numbers that we can fall back on because they're constantly changing those algorithms. The one moment it's 40%, now it's 50%, it's almost up to 60%, right? So we can't rely on their numbers. It just truly changes from week to week. Shocking, but true. So how will this California Bill AB5 play out? Will it even pass? I think Uber and Lyft are going to go to war against this bill. Let's go back into the room. Yasin Turkan, how are you, my friend? Uber Dean, they all had to do $1.25 per mile and 80% to driver, 20%, problem solved. Which takes me to GOAT, right? Greatest of all time, which you guys are in the house. This company that we're pushing forward, we need a disruptor in the market, right? We cannot just say, okay, there's two companies dictating, Uber and Lyft. We need a reliable company in the market, right? And there will be funds for it, right? There's a lot of investment dollars in Palo Alto, in California, around the world that people will put into a model that makes sense, right? We drivers, and I think I truly speak on behalf of all of you, just as you can speak on behalf of me, is that, we understand the model. We're in the car. We know the pitfalls. We know the positives, right? So if we can learn from those and inject those qualities, those possibilities into a new company, we can truly make it better. I feel like, Uber and Lyft writing the rules the way they want to, being disconnected with the street, not having driven cars, not having been in the rideshare industry, right? They, they come up with crazy, dreamlike ideas, right? This 180 days of change, right? Which they market as something big, as something positive. I think we can all agree that that was a huge, huge failure, right? So, not being connected with the street, right? Not being dialed into rideshare, not truly understanding the business, the labor force, the workforce, the drivers, creates all this volatility. Now, in my next live feed right after this, I'm going to go to the Uber and Lyft shares steadily climb back. We're going to talk about that, right? And the reason why, folks, my friends in here, I'm going to do another live feed right after this, is that every live feed you do sort of behaves differently in the social media, in the search engines. When I go out and make a live feed on the Uber IPO, the Uber stock, the way the Lyft stock is behaving, a whole bunch of other people see it, right? So we're constantly inviting in new people, new subscribers, right? I welcome people in from the financial world, because that's a chance for us to pitch our concerns. That's a chance for us to pitch a new company. So that's what, I don't want to throw all the washing in one basket and say, okay, we're going to mix the California Bill AB5 live feed with the Uber and Lyft stock. No, that's like a mixed salad. We got to compartmentalize it and draw in new people to us so that they read this stuff, right? I'm interested in every single day in gathering more and more subscribers. So it gives us an opportunity to educate these subscribers, right? With your help, of course. And what I obviously appreciate is that you guys are sharing the information, sharing the videos, tweeting them out, sharing it in your Facebook network. That helps drive the message, right? So our goal, ladies and gentlemen, should be consistent driving this new company forward, consistently pushing for better treatment, consistently pushing for better pay, consistently pushing for positive change. Okay, I think that sums it up, right? I think we're all in alliance on that one. Sonny de Rivero, I would happily be part of a company that you put together. Love you, my friend. I appreciate for saying that. Joey Driver for you, Idaho. Uncle T, Joey Drive for you, Idaho here. Greetings from Boise in the house. I multi-app with the food gigs. This bill would mess everything up. Yeah, so you understand it, right, Joey? So, they push this lingo. I read through the bill. That's the one thing, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where you stand politically, nor will I engage in any political discussions in my live feeds, right? I keep sex, religion, and politics out of my feeds, right? That's why if you see some guys come in here, these trolls, and they try to put their perverted crap or their political spin, or I flush them down the toilet. They don't belong in here, right? This is about rideshare. This is about us. This is about our house, about our future. But at the same time, the sad thing is that you have politicians out there deciding our future, right? And they haven't been in the rideshare cars, right? But they're taking money from lobbyists, right? It's a corrupt system, right? That doesn't, at the end of the day, take care of the driver, right? So why should these bills be decided by politicians because companies are buying them off? That's not in our best interest, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I don't care where you stand. I respect you if you're a Democrat. I respect you if you're a Republican. I respect you if you're for the Green Party or for the Labour Party in the UK or for the CDU in Germany or the CSU or the SPD in Germany. Wherever your political alliance are worldwide, I will not judge you, right? But I can tell you that a lot of companies try to influence our lives, our decisions, right? And I can tell you that politicians here in the United States on both sides of the aisle, they haven't driven. Do they understand the business, right? They may be out there, a couple of people that really have our best interest at heart, and they're trying to push good bills for us and get better rights. But on the other side, you immediately have the pushback from the companies who are paying lobbying dollars, right? That's a fact. So exactly, John Smith, flush them down the toilet. Anyone that tries to interfere with our livelihood, right, with our rights, with our money, I say flush them down the effing toilet. 3 ways to flush a toilet, my friend. I appreciate you saying that, Johnsy. AMC Realtors, can I have a cookie? Welcome to have a cookie. I don't have any cookies right here, but you're more than welcome to have one if you're hungry. Tim Olson, Minneapolis, is making hay. I like that. Compton, California in the house. Love to Compton. Elias Acevedo. How are you, my friend? Good. John Doe. That's what this... Okay, that's an incomplete sentence. Chris Triangle. Flush it, baby. Flush it. San Pedro in the house. Yes, sandwich between Long Beach and LA. San Pedro. Anybody been into San Pedro? Awesome bridge there if you want to drive over, cross over. Super high up. My kids love it. Let's see. Would you still work for Uber if the bill does pass? Mohammed, excellent question. And if the bill passes, Mohammed, what I do is I look at the hourly, right? I happen to be in the Lux category and the SUV category, and I happen to know how to work the system that I have a super, super high hourly, right? Sometimes I'm in there $35, $40, $50 an hour because I really got this down to a science, right? So I don't think I would work for $70 to $20 an hour. That's just me. That's just my opinion, right? But, for a guy who has a Prius or has a Civic, right? That's your car, and you're out there hustling, you're out there working, and you're making money with UberX, and it's not adding up. It's not adding up for you. Maybe that hourly is your savior. Maybe those benefits like medical and that's your savior, right? But again, let me read it to you. California might be a limit on a driver's ability to app hop, right? Or work for multiple companies at the same time. A lot of us work for multiple gigs. A little bit of food deliveries here, a little bit of Uber here, a little bit of Uber Lyft there. This bill would compartmentalize. You're going to have to work for one. You'll probably either choose Uber or Lyft, right? And, to have this pass, it sort of has to, they call it the ABC standard, right? There's a clear distinction of what construes what makes up an independent worker and what makes up an employee. And this is what this argument is all about, right? So they're going to be battling this out. My opinion, unless we have a platform where we collaborate and act strongly, unless organizations like Gig Workers Unite, Rideshare Drivers United, all get on the same page and push and use the media effectively, then you may have a chance on the California Bill AB5. And the only way you often have chances to put bills through is to put tremendous pressure on politicians that are up for re-election, right? Tremendous pressure on street level. That's very, very organized work that you have to conduct to push something like this through. My gut says it will not pass. That's my gut, right? Because this is their baby, this is their market for Uber and Lyft. San Francisco, LA, San Diego, they make so much damn money here. They are going to fight. They're going to throw millions at this to try and squash this bill. So let's go back into the room. Jim Seagull, how are you? Rideshare Lisa, how are you? Steven Mayer. Forest Lake, Minnesota, how are you, man? Good to see you. Chris Tringale, I really think Uber and Lyft is meant for part-time. Works for me. Friday and Saturday nights in Boston. That's great, Chris. And that's a very, very true statement. So the way it works for Chris in Boston, he just says, hey, you know what, Friday nights, Saturday nights, I get an opportunity to go out, make a little bit of money, meet some people, and it fits into my weekly schedule. Good for you, my friend. I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm glad it's working for you. Roy Watkins, hi, Professor, Uber and Lyft technology doesn't work for the drivers. Well, that is a true statement, right? The way those algorithms are playing out right now, it's truly not working out for the drivers. And here's one thing we need to look at, right? I mean, I look at Yasin Turkan. I appreciate you, my friend. Anything we can highlight, anything you would like to highlight, Yasin, you're more than welcome to push it out here, right? But I really appreciate your presence in this channel. I appreciate your contribution. Keeps me fighting on, right? And this is going to be great, my friends. I'm going to tell you that, you know, for me to pull my team off other projects, right, which I know are going to make me a shitload of money one day. I have one real estate portal that I've been working on for 3 years. I've been pouring a lot of money into it, you know, and my intentions were to launch that July, August. I have pulled my developers, I have pulled my people off that project to work on this full time. That's my commitment, right? And, you know, I can only put this out in the universe and hope it goes. Sergio Robles in the house. My friend, I was at In-N-Out yesterday picking up burgers at the airport for clients very late. I was hoping to see you there. That's where I met my buddy Sergio. Came up to me and said, Rideshare Professor, I'm a subscriber of your channel. And we stood there having a great chat and a coffee together. Much love to you, Sergio. Tim Olson, I've tried addressing a few issues in the past week by calling Uber support. What a joke. Yeah, you're not going to get far there. That's like banging your head against a wall. You know what's going to happen after a while? You're going to get a headache. It's about the same result calling 1-800-1-800. You might as well just walk into a wall, folks. Sad but true. But where did I just go off course? I want to go straight back onto course, right? That we have to give this a shot, right? No regrets. We do need a disruptor in the market, right? And we got to put this out there in the universe. And I got to put the monies in and say, hey, let's, my design team, my development team, my techie team, at least give this a try. At least let's look at where Uber and Lyft are failing. At least let's try and make this better, right? And to share with you, spoiler alert, pre-July the 4th, because July the 4th, we're going to opening up the funding platform. There are going to be so many different ways you can come on board, right? You will even be able to come on board, spoiler alert, as a city ambassador, right? We're going to have city ambassadors. And here's the reason why. If you do not approach this from an organized from an organized point of view, right? If you do little random thing here, random thing there, no, you have to have a site, a website that consolidates people, that consolidates power. So if, let's say, a company like Gig Workers or so want to organize a organized strike effectively on the right there, they have a platform where all the people are participating. That's what I like about uberpeople.net, right? But what I've noticed with uberpeople.net, if you do have a subscriber base, and here's the problem there, right? There are people there pushing their codes that started that company. If you come in and you remotely look as a threat, like they shut me down right away because they say, oh, here comes Rideshare Professor. You know, hopefully he's not going to take away from our referrals. So the new platform here, folks, allows individuals to set up their own city, their own codes, promote themselves, right? It's a free for all. The main thing is that we are consolidated on one page, doing surveys, doing polls. What do you think about this idea? What do you think about this split, right? If I could throw out a split there, I think the healthiest split is still a 75-25. A company has to survive, so they have to take something, but they don't have to be greedy. It doesn't have to be 40% for the drivers, 60% for the companies, right? And all the company is doing is supplying an app, a platform, or all they're supplying is the technology and they're taking 60%. That is just fundamentally wrong, right? Okay, so the new company, Tim Olson, you guys get the chance on that day to tie down your city, right? And in major cities, we'll have up to 5 ambassadors, like in the big cities in LA. I'd like to be one of the ambassadors for LA. Why? Because I understand the city. There are people that I know in San Diego that I'd like to make ambassadors, right? So we have competent goats, greatest of all time drivers, who are representing Boise, who are representing Leeds, London, who are representing Bronx, New York, who are representing Miami, Florida, who are representing Colorado Springs, Colorado, right? Or Albuquerque, New Mexico. We need competent warriors, city ambassadors that can interface with their people, right? And the way I've asked my team to set up, again, spoiler alert, but the way I have asked them to set up the social media platform, let's call it that, right, where you get to register and build out your profile, become a city ambassador, get to participate in all these rooms, get to participate in the decision making, right? Is that there's different levels, whether it's a $5 level, a $10 level, a $25 level, a $50 level, a $100 level, or a $500 level. Obviously, if you're coming in on the high side, you are also then, when the company goes and lists and we form it, there will be some stocks worked in as well. Paul Figueroa, positives, vibes, straight back to South Cali, right down there to San Diego to you, my friend. Salute. We're going to make this work, right? And whatever animal, whatever beast this goat takes on, let it ride out there into the sunrise, let it ride out to the sunset, right? I want this sucker to go 24 hours a day, that in some way we're making social media noise. Press releases already drawn up, done, right? Ready to be pushed out at the right time. Arnold Schwarzenegger, have I given a ride to him? No, I went with him to a boxing event. He has a big passion for boxing. I do too. I'm very, very connected to the boxing industry. Even with Freddie Roach down at Wild Card, I know a lot of the boxers. I know when they train. I know their schedules. I know when Pacquiao's in town. I like to go down to the Wild Card, whether it's in Hollywood and or Santa Monica. And Schwarzenegger enjoys the industry as well. So I have met him on several boxing fights at the hangar at Santa Monica, in Vegas, spoken to him, shook his hand. Have I driven him? No. I do know where his family stays out in Pacific Palisades. And I do know that they used Uber a lot at the time. Now they have private drivers. Now they've grown up, right? His son Patrick, etc. But I think he's amazing. He's achieved everything a man can or a woman can achieve, right? He's made it in the acting world. You can't say he's the world's best actor, but he's made it there. He's been a politician. He's a game changer. I like him. I don't care what people think about Arnie. I think he's a hero. Get your goat. Yeah, exactly, man. Hold on to those horns. Driving through the streets with a goat. Can you imagine? My little one, the 12-year-old, I call him my little one. He's such a sweetheart. He goes, Dad, going back to our live feed, are you still going to make that logo with the goat the way I explained it to you? And I said, listen, buddy, we're going to incorporate that, right? The platform where the drivers get to hang out and talk and decide will be the goat room, right? So if you want to design a little logo for that, even if it's a little cool little character. We can put a little logo in that room and dedicate that to you. So he was all excited. Just wanted to share that with you. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, can we have a like button for passengers that tip us? I think that's a great idea. Show gratitude, right? You get a tip no matter how low or high, whether it's $1 or $10, a little button. Thank you. I really appreciate the tip, right? That'll make them feel good. That'll make them feel heard. And that'll encourage them to tip again. I love that idea. A little thank you button on our phone that we press after a passenger has tipped us. I like that. Now, in the new company, folks, the way I set up my week is that I get a lot of scheduled trips. A lot of people know where they're going tomorrow. A lot of people know what they're doing on Saturday night. I think there has to also be in this new company more emphasis on scheduled trips, right? That's why we're doing these cities and zip codes. And if these trips arise in your zip codes, you're notified, right? Hey, by the way, there's a trip coming up, in your area. Would you like to claim it? And then you have more ways to plan out your day. Oh, I know that on Saturday night, I got to pick up person X and take them there. It's going to approximately take me about an hour. I can count on at least X amount of dollars. I'm going to claim that trip. I don't think the scheduled trips in Uber and Lyft are quite working, and here is why, because they're taking, why should I accept a trip when they're taking the bulk of my money, right? So B, they don't really send it to you and say, hey, Jack or Jill, would you like to take this trip? It just came up in your zip code. No, they just have a running board. Whoever checks in claims. But again, why claim something when you know that 60% of your fare is taken away? I'd like to see that changed, right? I'd like to see drivers have a good shot on a scheduled trip on the weekend or 2 or 3 trips and say, you know what, I'm going to claim those trips because I know that right there and then I can make 70, 80 hours in those few hours. So that is a big component of this new company. I've asked my guys to really work on that as well, right? And like I said, when we open up the social platform to suggestions, to surveys, that's when you guys, our house in the middle of the street, that's when we need to incorporate that. The Uber helicopter, July the 9th, be vlogging live, correct. I just pushed out a video on that. I do have clients, really good clients that I'm going to be pitching our new company for money. When you take these type of companies, if we can go out there and raise $102,000 or $200,000, that's fantastic. That gives you a lot of leverage that you can buy a few of the licenses, you can set up the identity, you can pay for programming and that. And if you show any investor that the drivers raised so much money, right, to start a company, they then get involved, right? It's easy then to attract your $1 million, $2 million investor. Once you have that, it's then easy to attract second or third stage funding, your $30 million investor, your $100 million investor. But you got to start somewhere. And when investors see passion for a product, when investors see dedication, involvement of drivers in a new company, they will throw their weight out. And this is what I discussed. Have a look here. Bryant and Steibel, there it is. That's Kobe Bryant and Jeff and Aaron Steibel, my clients that I drive once in a while. I have been soft pitching this, saying this is what the drivers want, right? And they then saying, okay, come down to Malibu and present this to us when you're ready. Present your app, present your idea, your future. And that's exactly what I will do. I have linked these guys up with numerous other talented people that have great ideas and great vision, right? These people always like to stay connected with think tanks, with people that are brewing up the very next thing, the very next app, right? So my time will come in front of that panel to make a presentation on behalf of all of us, on behalf of our new company, right? And this is how we push it forward. That's why I'm saying networking, networking, networking. Keep a Rolodex of all of these influential people that you keep, of all of these people who have serious money, play money, right? What they can even call a little bit gamble money, right? They can throw $50,000 here. They can throw $100,000 here. Those are the type of people that you want on fast dial in your phone, or that you can email them and say, hey, so-and-so, I'm ready. Can I pitch it to you, right? Barry Andrews, Baltimore, Maryland, how are you? I like that. Let's see, where are we? Lisa, can it also have a way to thank a rider when they leave a compliment? That's one thing. Yeah, I like that. You know, if somebody's complimenting you, a button, I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, maybe I like that, Lisa. Maybe like there's a thank you we have in our app. We're going to claim this idea right now. It's going to go into our app, right? I'm making a note right here that if a person compliments you, if a person rewards you with a tip, that we have maybe 3 or 4 different ways to thank them. Thank you very much for saying that. Or I really appreciate the tip, right? To make it personal. So our new company, we claim that. We don't even share that with Uber and Lyft, right? Because we've put so many good ideas out there already. Our House, all these other channels, Dustin, we've put so many good ideas out there. And with this continuous disrespect towards us, do they really deserve our good ideas, right? It's just full on time for a new change period, for a disruptor, right? We need a disruptor in the industry. Marcellus Clay, Tampa, Florida, in the house. In the house. How are you, Tampa? I might be going down to Sarasota fairly soon, end of the month, just for 2 days. Business. IQ Boy, I wish the app would let us thank the rider for leaving a tip. Excellent. We've been talking about that. You're absolutely right. RM Zayas, West Palm Beach is ready for the GOAT. You betcha. We're gonna give it everything we can, right? No regrets. We're gonna try our best. That's all we can do. We humans are gonna try our best. We're gonna try and disrupt this industry. We're gonna try and make a crap load of noise so they hear us. East Hollywood in the house. Lorenzo Davis, welcome, my friend. Our house in the middle of the street. Our house, that is where we used to eat. Our house was a castle and a treat. The Rideshare house welcomes you. Anybody, the doors are open. Uber executives, come in here. Lyft executives, come in here. Boardroom members of Lyft and Uber, we invite you in, right? Come in and meet us. Meet real people. Meet the people that make you the money. Come in. Come into our house. Come into our live feed. Don't be scared. Don't hide behind your desk in the dark over there, programming, scheming on our behalf. No, come inside. Come inside and talk to us, right? We are talking about the California Bill AB5. This California bill could force Uber and Lyft to treat their workers better. I will tell you, you can do your calculations based on the hourly wage. You'll have far better understanding what you're going to be earning per week based on the hours that you're willing to invest. And then the other thing is, in the fine print, you got to think about this. This is what stuck out to me, is that California might be a limit on drivers' ability to app hop. What is app hopping? When you work for multiple companies at the same time, Uber, Lyft, Postmates, you app hop. You don't just rely on one platform. So with this bill, you will probably be limited to one app, right? So you can say, okay, I'm working X amount of hours on this app, and hence I deserve this hourly wage, right? So I think those days will be gone when you can app hop, with these type of bills. But I also said that the lobbyists, the companies will butter up those politicians, pay, so that this bill is squashed. They will not want this bill to pass, right? Because it's the biggest money-making market in the world is California, period. Whether you love or hate California, it is their big money maker, right? California on its own is probably about the biggest, has probably about the 8th largest economy if it were to be treated as a country. If you throw it into the mix with all other countries, it is so powerful. We have Google here, we have Uber and Lyft here, we have Apple here, right? This is a powerhouse, and it's very, very expensive. I can tell you, over the years, the cost of living in California has gone up and up and up and up. It is insane what the fees, the rentals, the houses, the cost of living in California. It's gone through the roof. Let's see. Yeah, it's time to go private on your own. And those private trips will be incorporated into our new model, right? Because the one thing I can tell you is that market I understand inside and out, the privates, right? And I would like to see more people. You see, here, spoiler alert, you're a passenger who drives frequently. You know your schedule. You're a CEO, right? Now, you can decide what type of car you want to be picked up in. But if there is a driver that you truly like, why not lock in that driver and then each time give him or her the first opportunity to drive you again, right? So you can, as a passenger, also have a list of drivers in a maybe ratio, first choice, second choice, third choice. So if you have a trip scheduled, shoot it out to that guy, shoot it out to that girl. He or she cannot do it on that day. Who's your second choice? These type of things have to be in there, right? That will create a relationship. That will create the loyalty just based on the good friendship between the passenger who has nominated his first choice and the driver his first choice, right? So these type of things you don't see with Uber and Lyft, but this, my friends, is real. This is part of the real world, right? It's got to be put out there, to give the driver the ability to establish relationships. I can say I have probably 70, 80 relationships, really good relationships. Now, they're definitely company-client relationships that I have, but many of them are person-to-person friendships that I've created. So that know-how that I bring with me from all those years in the private sector, I would like all the drivers to enjoy that, right? Because there's bigger and better things out there versus just hopping around here and there. You have no idea who's getting in your car, right? More consistency, more safety, more reliability, more planning. Exactly. We are going to make history, Mario Rosales. Yeah. Gonna make it a gold life. Portugal. Are you Joe Madeiros? Hello from Boston, Portugal. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, my friend. Welcome. Rideshare Confession says, I pick up a lot of people from the Trump in DC that want me again. Obviously, those individuals enjoy your services. That's why they're booking you again, right? So we have a little hater here, a little Buster Brownhole in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't even be able to share his message. He's a little hater. He's sad. He probably has a past, and he's triggered. He's triggered by accents. I'm an American, fucktard, just so that you know. Okay, born in Washington, D.C., for your information, Buster Brownhole. And we're going to give the little brownie a royal flush down the toilet, because what do we say to haters and trolls? Time out. If you want to insult your brothers and sisters, don't start here. I'll slap you from here to the next kingdom, my friend. There he goes. Joseph Smith, so you're saying no more app hopping. I'm saying no more app hopping if this bill passes, right? And when is TRIP starting? Good question. Is it 2028? Is it 2035? Is it 2042? I have no idea. All I know is that they've been delaying month by month by month by month by month by month. What I do know is I have seen nothing, no campaigns trying to get passengers involved. Our company, our new company, right? We will issue drivers, whether they're little stickers or little giveaways for the car, that you can introduce, through a non-aggressive manner, people to the new platform. There we go. Yeah, Marquitos Pino, I slapped him to the next kingdom. I don't tolerate trolls. And if they want to meet me within a 2 feet radius, they're welcome to step into my space. More than welcome. I'll let them sign a little contract that whatever happens between the two of us in that 2 foot space is just between me and him, right? That's when you truly find out if the haters or the trolls have got the balls, right? Sign this little contract that you waive your right. You step into the space with me, into this 2 and 2 space. I'll educate you, right? My friends, in the rugby days, those are brutal days where people are biting you, scratching you, putting your shoe in your face. There were brawls in every single rugby game. There was blood. I hate to say it, right? But that's in my DNA, right? When you come talk trash to me or my family, right? Step up to the plate, right? Don't troll, don't insult and all this other stuff. Step up, show who you are. Sign a waiver with me. Good opportunity for you to meet me. I don't tolerate shit, I can tell you that. Great faith. When will the bill go into effect? So the bill has been introduced. Good question. And they say that there could be a ruling in August. So not too far off. Probably within the next 60 to 75 days, there will be a decision, right? Exactly. Stickers on the rear windows or the bumper. We got a Texas in the house. John Seeker, how are you, my friend? Timothy Neufarth, how are you? Okay, let's see. Romeo Bukala. We have a lot of people in the house today. Yeah, I can't. I like Kantiak Toby. I like that name. I'm trying to pronounce. Tell me how to pronounce that properly, please. Break it down for me. Good job. Slap the hater. Slap him down. Guys and girls, if you ever get into a fight, right? You're forced into a fight because the guy pushes you or hits you. The flat hand on the ear disturbs the balance. The biggest guy will go down, a flat hand. Learn how to flatty the right way, guys. It's not necessarily connecting the fist with the jaw. It's about the flat hand, right? When you disrupt the equilibrium, the head starts spinning, they go down. If you can aim for the ear and get a good shot at it, you, the smallest guy, will take the biggest guy down. Mark my words. It works. Marquitos Pino. Let's see, what do we have here? I'm the same. I fear no man or wouldn't be alive in the city. Exactly. You should never walk around in fear. But then again, don't set yourself up for fearful situations, right? Don't engage. Don't trigger people, right? There's this incident the other day with a Lyft driver. He triggered the guy. He said, if you disrespect me, I will stop the trip. It basically, oh my God, that statement alone will open up a can of worms because the guy never felt respected in his entire life, right? Sadly so, probably due to his upbringing, right? So that immediately says, this guy's disrespecting me and he's going to switch off. Red flag, the bull comes out, right? Right, the bull goes straight for the red carpet or the red flag, go straight in. That's the invite. Do not trigger people, right? And if you have to defend yourself, but don't go around. I don't go around picking fights, right? But I will gladly call out any moron, any troll, any hater if they're going to spew their poison in this room. It's not going to happen. We're going to get rid of them. Defensive go training should be part of the course, right? We should have a defensive go training course. I think that goats, I wouldn't like to run and bang heads with a goat. Have you ever seen two goats collide? Wow, that is a force, my friends. I would not like to take it up with a goat. Seriously, the goat will win hands down. You know, not worth it. Can drivers have a union? Super good question. As independent contractors, no. As employees, yes. So let's say, going to your question, the California Bill AB5 passes in August. Let's say it passes. You can't app hop, remember? You can now choose a company, but now you're an employee. Those people can then go and form their own union, if that answers your question. Can of goats has a nice ring. I like can of goats. Don't want to stuff them in a can, maybe a coral of goats. Yeah, never wake up the sleeping dragon, Romeo. Exactly. You don't know whether you have a dragon in your car. Don't wake him up. I like that. I like that. Vegas, Nevada in the house. I'm due to go to Vegas again, my friends. Roy Watkus, how are you, buddy? Sending our love to Vegas today. Must be super hot there. What's the temperature, my friend? Professor, if this bill will pass, will some drivers be laid off? No. They can't lay you off, right? My argument would be that you legally grandfathered in, so you should have a right to take up that employeeship, right? Because it's a transition from an independent contractor to an employee. I cannot see them sever that tie. Now, unless they make the hourly wages so ridiculous that you say, hey, I've got to cut ties. I just cannot work for this type of money. I cannot work for that type of hourly. You may end up walking, right? But I don't think that they could give you the ultimatum on that. But good question. My answer is a mere speculation. I would like to run that by an attorney friend, and ask him and come back with a more qualified answer, right? That's a really, really good question. Will drivers be laid off if this bill passes? I'm carefully saying I don't think they can be, but I will like to get a professional opinion on that. I will. Nathaniel Davies, can people still drive on both platforms? Right now they can, but if you read this bill, it says California might be a limit on a driver's ability to app hop or work for multiple companies at the same time. When they say multiple companies, they mean multiple gig companies, right? A lot of people work for Postmates, Lyft and Uber, Uber and Lyft, Uber and DoorDash. So according to this law, you got to pick or choose, right? Because you're locked in as an you can't be their argument is you can't be like an employee to multiple companies. You work for us now. If we're paying you this wage, you're working for us. So if that sheds a little bit of light on that. So somebody just said, good to catch the live stream. Maestro, yeah, Maestro is also a great app. You guys, anybody trying Maestro? Great app. You make a can of goats, just may come inflatable or plush toy. I like that, Daniel. I like your thinking. I like your marketing brain. Annie Wong, if the bill passes, do we still have to use our own car or the company provides? We'll be using our own car. We'll be using our own car, right? You're bringing your tools. I'd say it's like almost like an electrician that'll bring his own tools or his tool set to the company to do the job, gets paid by the company. You can use that as an example. But yeah, you'll be supplying your own car. But the way Uber and Lyft are doing it right now. They're really trying to make these rentals so attractive so that they can give people who desperately need a job, lock them in. So you're basically working around the clock, paying for that rental, and maybe you make a little bit of money on top of that. But they've got this down like a science. They know how to hook you in. They know what it'll take, how many trips you have to do to pay them back, and they want to just hook you in. They don't want this high rotation of drivers, this constant washing machine of recycling new drivers. It costs them a fortune. 102 today. Woo! So Uber's drivers channel says these laws will never work to satisfy rideshare drivers. This will do nothing but muddy already muddy waters. And when you make such a statement, you say because ... right? That's half of the sentence there. That's half of the argument. Drivers channel. When you make a statement, you back it up. And here is the reason why. Panchu Villa, I cancel a ride because the guy was sticking his arm out of the window and he was drunk, so he tried to grab my phone. I grabbed his arm and twisted it and kicked him out. Good for you, my friend. I love that. Show them who's boss. My car, my rules. Get out. Twist your arm. Goodbye, my friend. Good job, Panchu. I like that. IQ boy, if they put me on a schedule, that will be my last day of driving. And many people will think like that, right? The people that don't want to, you see, the thing is, we want to be independent. We want to drive when we want to drive. We want to be our own boss, right? I would also not be told by Uber and Lyft, hey, here's your driver schedule. Wouldn't work for me. I wonder who will pay the maintenance and gas. We will. We will. Oh, Marquito, thank you. Maestro, Spanish slang for teacher. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Got it now. Nathaniel Marquitos, did you see the Andy Ruiz fight? Beautiful, beautiful. Felicidades, Andy Ruiz Jr. Nathaniel Davies, what do you think about Uncle Sam on a danger to 1314 Texas? I got to understand that question. Sorry, if you could rephrase that for me. Maybe my coffee hasn't kicked in. Eric Jovel in the house. I met a Lyft driver that was paying close to $250 a week and having to drive 7 days. You know, that saddens me. And you're right. You know, that saddens me that a guy, maybe because he or she has a bad credit, desperate, cannot get the money together for a car, doesn't have anybody, can't get a loan, and then is forced into a situation to pay 4 times $250, $1,000 per month, and literally has to work around the clock 7 days a week to maintain that car, which means Uber and Lyft are happy. They're getting all the trips that they need. They're getting all their passengers taken care of. And this guy, this poor guy or her, is working around the clock for 7 days just to make ends meet, just to even pay that $1,000. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Right? Eric, I pay $425 a week for the car, but that you're obviously driving in a far higher category, right? You're not driving in an UberX. That model there is based on a basic UberX vehicle. For $425, you should be, you know, getting an SUV or a Lux car or an XL car. Professor, after an altercation, do you call the police or Uber first, or do you call both? You got to do everything, right? In as the shortest time period as you can. I would call Uber right away, 1-800 number, get that on record, and then I would go down to the closest police station, right? And you know, and sometimes you will see that police officers will sort of dismiss your argument or dismiss your complaint purely because they have so much going on. You got to put your foot down, right? Got to put your foot down. Say, okay, if you're not going to file my report, then I'm just going to go to the guy above you and just tell him that you're not going to file my report. You know, our tax dollars are paying these people, right? These people are out there, have a tough job. All respect to the police protecting us, but they also have to follow through and write these reports. These reports are crucial to us when we have to submit them to an insurance company. They are crucial if we have to submit them to Uber to show that we were in the right. These reports may be crucial in a lawsuit, right? So walking out of that police station, just like I said the other day to this girl, Carly, who got sexually harassed by this guy with a rusted nail, I said, insist on a report. Otherwise, we do a video report on that police station that they failed to protect that lady or that guy, right? It's their duty to write up a report. It's their duty to report on what you said, because that report will go before a judge, right? And that report will be taken, hopefully, by a police officer, right? So that your rights are protected. That's all I can say to that. Rideshare Confessions drives in DC. Yes, you told us you pick up people at the Trump DC hotel. So I figured I put 2 and 2 together, and I figured Rideshare Confessions drives in DC. Bart Lawhorn's in the house, right to work state here in California. Eric, most companies charge $425 a week here. Where's here? What market are you in? Are you in Cali? Where are you? I know many operators that are charging $500 to $650 a week. I charge $500 a week for my Suburbans, but I'm also giving that driver a lot of private trips, and I'm going on an 80-20 split with them. If I provide them with a private trip, I'm giving them 80% of the fare, and they love that. I'm giving them a big paying trip, usually an airport trip or a Disneyland trip or a Universal Studios trip or a Magic Mountain trip or a Burbank trip, right? But they get to keep 80% of the fare. So you give a driver a few of those per week, they've paid their car. That's what I'm saying. 40-hour full-time, anything less is part-time, and employer isn't required benefits. Thank you for sharing that. Boise in the house. Thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. We'll all vote the GOAT together. Greatest of all time drivers, right there. There they are. Guys, I want to hop on to the next topic. Another live feed straight after this. I want to keep them separate, and that's talking about the Uber and Lyft stock, how it's been behaving, where we are. I think this concludes the California Bill AB5, which will be ruled upon. There it goes dark. Is that a sign or what? In August. This will be decided in August, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the lobbyists and Uber and Lyft will be fighting and meeting and whining and dining the politicians like crazy to try and squash this bill. And you know why? Used to be a fan, had an old bad boy pal named Johnny Tapia. Yeah. Have not watched one since 2005, Mayweather versus, but been craving to watch again. Good. There's good fights out there, man. Every now and again, there's a beautiful, legendary fight going on. Now, Andy Ruiz has a rematch clause against Anthony Joshua. Let's say Anthony Joshua gets knocked out a second time or loses that second fight. That will set Ruiz up for his biggest payday ever against Wilder. That'll be a massive, massive pay-per-view day, right? Because all of Latin America will be behind Ruiz. Wilder has his following, but to get there, Ruiz has to still get past Joshua. That's going to be a task, but I wish him well. Right, he's on 262 pounds now. He says he's going to come down to 245 pounds. Good for him. I like him. I've been watching him, Jimmy Kimmel, and all these live shows that he's been at. I like the guy. I like his personality. You have my 100 support, Andy Ruiz, wherever you go. Great. You have a great fan in your corner. Benslick says, doesn't California require employers that ask their employees to use their own car for work be reimbursed 55 mile on top of their pay? Good point. Have to check into that, but good question. Obe, how are you, my friend? Good to see your name pop up. That's very cool. Eddie Leal, greetings to all out of Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida, Eddie Leal in the house. Productive day. Yes, a good day, a productive day. The Uber's drivers channel, the breaking point of full part-time is 32 hours. Lorenzo Davis, Wilder says he loves boxing. He gets paid to kill someone in the ring. Wilder hasn't faced any real fighters, man. Wilder hasn't faced anything significant. I'm sorry. Really. I'd love to see Ruiz fight Wilder. I think that the guy would give him a run for his money. But I got to say, Wilder tweeted very nice, respectful congratulations to Ruiz after the fight. I like it. And there was a very, very classy message that Wilder sent out for those boxing fans, just saying. Rob R, hello, Professor, and everyone in the house. How are you, Rob R? How's it going, my friend? Let them know boxing. What does this mean for California drivers? Well, what this means is that there is a bill that's coming up, you know, that's going to be voted on in the California Senate, probably in August, that would either make drivers, employees with a minimum hourly wage, they would not be able to app hop. They'd have to choose a company that they work for, right? Which would mean you can do your calculations more accurately based on hours multiplied by hourly wages, so you know what you'd be earning. And your independent contractor status would be gone. You'd be filing your taxes very, very differently. Then the question is, how much flexibility will you have? Would you be able to drive whenever you want? You know, some of those are some of the big questions I'd like to have answered. Professor, do you have a driver that works for you in DC? No, I don't. That's my city of birth, Washington, D.C. I was born in Georgetown Hospital. My father was a professor at Georgetown University. So my routes to D.C. run very, very tight. But no, I don't have any drivers out there. But I have a lot of subscribers from D.C. And I just recently shared a very, very interesting survey or research that was conducted by Georgetown University on Uber and Lyft drivers, and that was conducted in DC. If you go back a few of my videos, you will see that it's a very, very long video, and I literally read out the 26-page report that was conducted in DC. Eye-opening. Okay, so Wilder beat up a troll in the ring. Yeah, I saw that. That was funny. Exactly. He said, like, why would you come to a, like, I go to Wild Card in Hollywood and Santa Monica sometime, right? And there's always top-notch boxers down there training. Why would a troll walk into a boxing gym and pick a fight, right? That's like, please F me up. I want to be a YouTube star. I want to have my 30 seconds of fame, jump in the ring with one of these guys and start talking smack. They're going to knock you out. Right? So I don't think that's the way you should make yourself famous on YouTube, is to be a monkey that jumps into a ring with a pro boxer. Not a good idea. So Nick Punt, the cunt, C-U-N-T, Nick, is it C-U-N-T? He says, fix your accent. I'll say, fix your attitude. Otherwise, I'll have to slap you down, Nick Punt. And again, you're welcome to come in that 2 feet radius with me, Nick, and sign a waiver that I can do whatever I want to do and you can do whatever you want to do. But don't insult somebody's accent. Come on, man. Is your accent better than mine? I happen to have a South African accent and I'm super proud of it. So that to that little troll, to that little punt, the C-U-N-T, I flush you 3 ways down the toilet, and may your presence never be felt here again, and go and work on your issues, why you are triggered by an accent, Nick, C-U-N-T. Bye-bye. Goodbye to Nick Punt. There he goes. Anyway, so what else? Let's get back to the real stories, the more important issues. The more you know says, how can we avoid drug dealers using our services? What are some of your ideas? Look, it's highly suspicious when you have a couple of people getting in your car with multiple stops and 1 or 2 bags. It doesn't look good, doesn't sound good, right? Would I want to bang heads with those people as they get in the car? No. I would fulfill my duty. My life is more important, right? These are guys that you have to be very, very careful with. They could be armed, they could have a knife. You start messing with a couple of gangbangers or drug dealers, right? Finish the trip, report it to Uber and Lyft, and make sure they come off the platform, that you don't get that person again, right? I've had them in the car probably 3 times. It's not fun. It's extremely stressful. The one time I went to 5 or 6 strip clubs with guys that I know that were distributing drugs. Do I want to pick a fight with them? Do I want to disconnect them from the platform and cancel on them? No, I value my life. So fulfill that trip, whatever you have to do, and then report it afterwards, right? But it's a difficult one, man, to know or to anticipate, hey, is a drug dealer about to get into your car? What's going down here? If your gut says something's off, it's off, right? You know. So we gave Nick Punt, the little nationality hater, a permanent timeout. There is no space for such individuals in this house, right? This is a peaceful, respectful house where your opinion counts, and I will not tolerate individuals of such nature. Like, not going to happen. They need to go back in their past and work on their issues. Tommy, I love your accent too. Exactly. Easy. Let's just respect each other's accent, right? There's a great Alabama accent, there's a great Texas accent, there's a California accent, there's an East Coast accent, there's a French accent, there's an Italian accent. I mean, are you going to blame someone for their accent? Come on, right? How is an accent formed? So usually you're growing up in a neighborhood, in a society where people already have that accent. You know, all these different accents in Nottingham, England, in Liverpool. You know, there's so many different British accents. There's different Australian accents. There's different Indian accents, right? I would never ever judge. I would never ever point a finger at a person and say, you have an awful accent, right? Your accent might be difficult to understand. If it's like super Cockney, Irish, or Scottish, heavy, I might have to concentrate a little bit more, but I will never judge you and say, you have an awful Scottish accent. Who would do that? So, Nick Punt, think about that for a moment, right? Maybe if you go with your accent to a foreign country, would you want somebody to say that to you? No, you'd want them to welcome you. Welcome to our country, have a good time, right? Treat you as a top tourist, roll out the carpet for you, show you the best time, show you hospitality, right? Not go out there and judge your accent. Sorry. I believe that 99.9% of the people in our house are on the same issue when it comes to accents. Yeah, most Californians have an accent to Englishmen. There we go. You go as a Californian or a New Yorker or as a Texan, go travel abroad, have fun, go to Europe, travel around, go to Rome, you know, go to Paris. You'll meet people, you'll get into conversations and they'll say, hey, where's your accent from? Oh, I'm proud of my accent and I'm from Alabama. I'm proud of my accent and I'm from Sarasota, Florida. I'm super proud of my accent and I'm from New Jersey, right? Walk tall and proud, my friends. Jamaican accent, man. I love the Jamaican accent. I love it when Usain Bolt and it's cool. It's cool. Period. IQ Boy says, I can't stand my own accent, but I love others. My answer to that is, IQ, love your own accent, dude. You are who you are. Love yourself, right? You come first. You are love. Love yourself, then love your neighbors, love your family around you. But the most important is like, be present, be you, be proud of who you are. Be proud of your accent, IQ boy. New York in the house. Great. I wish I could do that New York accent. I love it. That East Coast accent. It's a hard one, man. I've tried to practice once and I'm just not good at it. But I think it is super cool. And I love it. When I had a girlfriend in Houston, Texas, gosh, gorgeous lady, Elizabeth. And she had the cutest Texan accent. I would like, you can talk all day long, sunshine, because that Texan accent, magic, right? So I guess I can say I'm a big fan of accents. Some people are triggered by accents. I wonder what that is. Why would one be triggered by an accent like this guy Punt early on, Nick Punt? I renamed him C-U-N-T, unfortunately. And I was hoping he would step into my little arena, my little 5.5, 5x5 arena. I was hoping he would take the invite, but no. Texas, exactly, man. Good places. Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas. I've got a good story for you, and then we're going to end this one here. When I went to visit my senator friend in Austin, Texas, Rodney Ellis, I stayed at a condo close to the Capitol, and then down there, I think it's 5th Street or 6th Street in Austin. What a fun place, man. Just restaurants and bars and dives and live music going on, and they shut down the road, and you have an amazing Argentina, yes. You have an amazing time down there. I think it's 6th Street or 5th Street. Please help me out here. And I'm with a couple of South African guys, rugby players. We're out having fun. We're drinking tequilas and just really soaking in the fun. And then I walk into this bar, and my friend's actually taller than I am. I'm about 6'2". I had one guy was 6'3", one guy was 6'4" with me. And we're there and we order some drinks, and this incredible bar lady. Her name is Megan. Megan, that's her real name. Hey boys, what are we going to have? So I was like, we'll have this. She goes, oh, where are you from? You have an accent. So I said, we're from South Africa. So she said, hey, here's a round of tequilas on me. So she poured the tequilas, and then she took a shot with us. This little girl, super cute, super fun, super bubbly. She worked, I think, till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then went partying with us like till 4 or 5 in the morning. And I'm telling you, she's still a friend today. She's one of my Facebook friends, right? She got married, she had kids, but I stay in touch with her because she's just such a beautiful, free spirit. She's a mother now, and she's an amazing human being that I met at a little dive bar on 5th or 6th Street down in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Megan. So, Minnesota accent. I have a Minnesota accent. Okay, so what does the Minnesota accent sound like? Maybe you could send me a link to a video of a person who has a Minnesota. Ram Jam Ram, Manila, Philippines, but now in Orange County. Manila, Philippines, now in OC. Welcome, my friend. I think that's where Uber has its HQ. I mean, it's call center. I could be wrong. Let's see, a lot of text messages. Folks, I got to rock and roll. I got to go pick up my Cadillac. Well, I'm going to squeeze in one quick video right after this, another live feed. And then I got to go and pick up my Cadillac. Had some little things tricked out on my 1968 Caddy. I was thinking of wrapping it. Some people said yes, some people said no. I was going to do it a gold black color with the hood and the back in carbon. About an extra $1,000 to do that. If I wrap it myself just for the materials, got to play that through my mind. Tavo L'Oreal, hey Professor San Diego in the house. San Diego, how are you today, my friend? San Diego. Come goat, what's up? Somebody just texted me. Come goat, what's up? I like that. I like that. Cool. Albert Tapia, can you answer my question, please? Can you read my questions? It's up here. If you could repeat those questions that were running through fairly quickly, I don't want to ignore or have you feel like I'm ignoring you, Albert. I just did not see your questions. I apologize. If you could run them again. In LA, haven't received the bonus for 2 weeks. Okay, what has something changed on the platform that you haven't received the bonus? Have you reached out to a manager at Uber? What type of bonus are we talking? Yeah, they may have eliminated certain things. Okay, guys, if we could, no wrapping makes things tacky. That's a good opinion. I appreciate that. The weekly bonus. So if anybody could give Albert some feedback, is wondering why the weekly bonus is gone. He's in LA. What were you? Are you talking about a bonus after driving a certain amount of trips? What are you exactly you're talking about? Which bonus? If you could clarify. Yeah, the punt opened up a can of goat. Not very smart. And we invite the punt into the 5x5 mini boxing ring. Welcome. Our house, gotta run. Rob R, have a great day to you too. Okay, we need thumbs up. We're gonna rock out of this one and get another quick live feed in. Hey Ray, can we talk more about the bill, please? Is there work around for drivers to remaining contractors? Many drivers love the time freedoms of Uber and Lyft. Exactly. So that will be so Jack Lee says, if you don't appreciate accents or different ethnic groups, we need to get the fuck out of LA. I just green-lighted that one. And I agree with it. If you can't accept that this is a metropolitan of nationalities, there's no space for you. Then you'll remain a hater all your life. Tava L'Oreal, I appreciate you, my friend. Can you recap real fast for what this AB5 bill is? Yes, I will, 100%. So, a bill was introduced in California, right, that would force Uber and Lyft to treat their workers better. So there's a certain amount of requirements that the people seek in this bill. They want, they want probably medical benefits. They want a consistent hourly wage, not these minimum fluctuating pricing that we currently have as independent contractors. They want consistency and they want to be paid fair, right? That's what the bill requests. Now, that is up for election in August. There will be a decision on that. You can bet your bottom dollar that the lobbyists, Uber and Lyft, will be pouring millions into this, setting up dinners with politicians, trying to influence this bill, trying to squash this bill, right? On the other hand, in the fine print, what we also need to understand is that California might limit on a driver's ability to app hop or work for multiple companies, gig companies at the same time. So that being said, translated into English, it means you will probably have to choose between Uber and Lyft. You can't app hop. As an independent contractor, you can do what the heck you want to. You can jump around, Postmates, whatever you want to. But there will be stricter guidelines, right? If you are on board as an employee, if this bill passes. My gut feeling says it will not pass because they will be pouring insane monies and influencing politicians so that this bill doesn't pass. The one benefit I do see in this, obviously there will be some protections and medical rights, et cetera, inside there, but you will be able to do your projections, your weekly, your bi-weekly, your monthly projections. I drive X amount of hours per week. I can expect to make a certain amount of dollars at the end of the month if I'm consistently driving 30, 40, 50 hours each week. It'll equate to X at the end of the month. So your ability to calculate will probably be spot on. Right? So take that into consideration. There are definitely pros and cons in this bill, and you have to figure out, does it work for you? Shadow Jesus, how are you, mates? Excellent. Rick reviews, thumbs up. Okay, cool. Let's get a picture of that. A lot of beautiful, positive vibes in the house. There we go. That's the frequency we leave on, my friends. And I wish you a fantastic day, all of you. Eric Javel, I'm going to end that, says, money talks, don't see the bill passing. Very true. Money talks, bullshit walks, right? Money talks, bullshit walks. So whatever puts more in our account, whatever improves our lifestyle, I will vote for. I am not going backwards, my friends. I'm only going forwards, right? If you feel like you're going backwards, stop and say, no, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to change in a different direction and keep on marching forward, right? But this reverse gear nonsense has to stop. Love you all. I just have a quick question. Shadow Jesus says, in my country, Uber has competition, so we aren't limited to one choice. Please do share with us what country that is. I'd like to know. But you can't make the money without the people. Very true. Shadow Jesus, do you want to share with us what country that is? We'll give a shout out to your country. Oh, Shadow Jesus, you're not a player, man. Puts the thing down and goes, I did this mildly to infuriate you all. It didn't infuriate us. It's a little bit on the childish side, but I'm still waiting for your country. And this is the only way, my friend. If you want to live in this world, Shadow Jesus, that's your choice. The majority, 99.9% in our house, are 2 thumbs up. I can tell you that. Only positive vibes. No time for negativity. No time for pessimism. But hey, if it was a funny joke, we'll take it. Okay? I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing day. Drive safe. Go out there. Make money. And tomorrow's Friday. There he is again. You just outed yourself, buddy. Goodbye. We give the royal flush here. Gotta love that tool, man. If you have a good subscriber base, you've got a lot of good people in the house. The amazing thing is that YouTube gives you the ability to get rid of the haters, the trolls. It's beautiful. It's this little button. It's magical. In fact, I would invite Sergio Robles into one of my live feeds, and then Sergio can sit here. We can sit next together. We can talk. And then if Sergio wants to get rid of a hater or a troll, he can just press this little button. See how much power that has. It just says, give them a timeout or kick them out the channel. But those little guys want to make their presence known, and they, screaming, Shadow Jesus, screaming for attention. We're not going to feed you energy here, so don't try. Enjoy. Have a great day. Happy Thursday, my friends.